we're getting everything ready and packed up as we head off in our Porsche RWB to the Fox Museum for a supercar classic. Now the Fox Museum has got some of the best supercars here in Melbourne, so let's see what they roll out for us today. Morning.
Your name?
Scott.
Hi Scott, how are you?
That Beamer thinks he's part of the show and he is being politely told to sod off inside. Lotus, these have got a big presence here in Melbourne. So we're trying not to get SAS. Oh, it's a nice box. Warning. And that's the watch there. There's the watch. There's that. That's special, isn't it? Yeah. Brake for emergencies. Not that we need that with an air-cooled 911.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Parked a little bit out of the way with our RWB this morning, and then we've got a little Ferrari that is joining us. Tried not to park directly under the tree. There is a random collection in the lineup, so Aston Martin, got a Golf R. Now this did sound like it was heavily modified and nearly sounded as good as the Aston Martin rolling in. A couple of GT3 RS's. Do love the ultraviolet, and the number plate's very cool on it. UVRS. Simon's here and the crew down there. Obviously we've just seen Simon's watch, so we'll try and not to pull that this morning, otherwise the SAS will turn up. And Stephen has finally turned up in his Carrera and actually pulled that out the garage for once. A Porsche 912. We did keep bumping into this little car, bumbling around. Nissan GTR, and I think that is Millennium Jade, I think. And the wheels are kind of done in that shade and colour as well. We should probably say as well, this is a respray and it looks like it was originally black because the R32 didn't come in Millennium Jade. Now before we get distracted by the F40 over here, there is an Lexus LFA. This has got all the plastic still in it. Red racing seats. It says F on it as well, all the intakes. You don't see many of those flying around. Of course the exhaust pipe is a hell of a setup. They have recently rocketed in price as well, a lot more than they were not too long ago. But that is a Lexus LFA. Ferrari 360. My absolute dream car. If I win lottery, I'm doing donuts down the road in one of these. There's just something about an F40 which I absolutely adore. I think it's the kind of go-kart feel inside. We spent a little bit of time with one in Dubai, but I love everything about that. And prices have just gone mental. Look at that thing sat there. I think we might have got a very small bit of footage as it came in. We'll try and get some as it goes out as well. It's gonna be a nice day. Here's a bit of a closer look at the F40 engine. I know you. We've just come out the back of now the Fox Museum because there's a collection of cars here that somehow we missed when we came in. Bit of a supercar lineup here, and I thought most of these would have been out the front, but they've been flinged around the back. Urus 992 GT3 RS, McLaren 720S, Ferrari, Pista here as well. Maserati MC20. And that's the first time I've actually seen one of those. Do not see many of these around at all. There it is, the MC20 there. Big intakes. You can see into the engine bay. Light and the camera on the rear. And as we talk about that, we've got a hot rod coming. Hot rod on a club permit. We thought, 356 had patina, but this is crazy. He did actually say that he rolled past a couple of police on the way here, and nobody really bothered him. Which is a bit of a surprise, because I'm always worried about the RWB, and this lad gets away with this. Look at that. Inside, it's actually got seat belts. Look at that. Genuinely, if you can get away with this, my RWB is not a problem at all. The old Coma van, and look how that is light. That is sat on a pair of airbags, and there is a wheel underneath that. The green dials have been done really well. Let's see if we can zoom in on those a little bit. We're actually inside the museum now, and often it's hard to get pictures in here because there's normally barriers across, but the barrier has been removed from here, and this is a 1984 Ferrari 288 GTO. Potentially one of the best Ferraris in the world. We're kind of picking some of our favourites. A Mercedes SLR 722 GTR. It is a hell of a place to come. It only opens maybe a few times throughout the year, but it's a hell of a setup here. The sterling moss is always very special. It's so hard to see the dials underneath as well. I suspect when you're actually sat in it, they are still really difficult to see. We're in the Porsche section now in 918. We've got a 1957 Speedster. There is a 1955 Spider RS. Now that will be absolutely original. So Porsche 718 RSK. This is a 1958. Again, this will all be original. Just sat right next to the Spider. 2020 Porsche 935 slant nose. I think he's got a couple of these in the collection because there's one downstairs with like an orange livery on it, but these are iconic. Look at that thing. So 959 and a collection of classics here. It's an absolutely brilliant location. There is a bit of a photo shoot going on here. I'm not entirely too sure they know what they're leaning on. So we've stopped the video for a minute because the event got a little bit weird. The models and the photographer that were all over the 959 were allegedly asked to leave. There was a guy wandering around who sat on a Mustang bonnet taking pictures of himself, and the car wasn't even his own. And then there was a group of people using one of the Porsche 911s as an ashtray. Now I don't know if it's because the event was in the city and people could come from far and wide on a train and just turn up and be idiots. I don't know what happened, but this has to be the strangest and probably one of the worst events for spectators we've seen in Melbourne. Enough of that, because I had to have the gripe. Back to the video. 964 C4 Jubilee Edition, and it's got a number plate on it, 175, and that number plate on its own is worth about $600,000 plus much more than probably the car. Ford GT. Didn't really pay much attention to this as it was sat here. Powered by Ford, the engine there, EcoBoost engine. There's the seating position. It looks like the latest generation. I think we can see there. Carbon fibre all on the doors. It's a hell of a setup. It's a little bit different. The Beetle is making way for a GT3 RS MR. And an STO grabbing some attention while Ford GT just rolls past. This looks like it might actually be an anniversary model of some description as well. Love a Lambo. I think everybody was going to fly off, but there is a policeman just right at the front, so I don't think anybody's going to be in a rush. Here's what we've got today: a Lamborghini and an old Mercedes-Benz. But there we go, the event's over, and definitely the strangest that we've had for a really long time. Please give the video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and hopefully next time we won't bump into as many Muppets. See you later, guys. Bye.